we are, coming to Sam's house, getting a haircut. No, you want it this way? Oh, and there's Leonard here, too.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize you were a barber.
You guys come here, Sam.
Wow. You ready for your close-up? Here, let's get it.
Slide around. Yeah. I like this place.
Leonard helped me bring this one in over here, this big one on the end.
Oh, okay. And your OSHA
It's the same thing as Leonard, where it's belt driven.
Yeah, that's cool.
You see that?
Uh-huh.
Come over here.
Excuse me.
You guys see how big it is.
Okay.
controls her.
This is the safety thing, Matt. Keep somebody from coming up and leaning on this and falling out the ground It's a good example of why they went away from that. I'll put this back on it. That way it's safe. But,
Hey, Sam, what's in that cabinet there?
well, I have a lot of Epstein stuff in that, I think.
What do you know?
Well, I bought it.
Oh,
It wasn't the stuff I swiped. You remember these?
Oh, yeah.
Those SK screwdrivers?
Yeah.
And
I thought that was, the handle feels the absolute best to me.
to me, it's the best handle there is. But,
Yeah.
Leonard's got some he likes, and I got a whole drawer full of them down there that you open paint cans with. They got a seat on that. Yeah. Man, this is something that is from your old stomping grounds. This lawnmower. It was made in Blue Mountain, Kansas.
Oh my gosh.
I have it hung up here like a mobile, like it's a piece of artwork. It's really, it is. It's sort of a testament to poor engineering and bad marketing.
Really, from Blue Mountain, Kansas? I can't imagine.
Well, here's the thing. Can you see this over here?
Yeah.
Look here. It says the BM Moore Company.
Yeah. The bid.
Yeah, well, okay, right from the get-go. BM is not a good name for anything,
Nope.
is it? And,
Except for the Bloody Mary mix at the bar.
well, okay, and as you can see, they had an obsolete design almost immediately. And what was, defeated that was the conventional lawnmower with the vertical shaft.
Yeah.
So they retooled and they made one like that, and they called it the BM Model VD for vertical drop. Well, there's more.
There's more.
There were two versions of the VD. One was the fancier model that had the nicer handle and a bigger motor. That was the Deluxe, the DLX. And then there was the plain Jane model, the BM Model VD style STD standard.
Oh my God, you've got to be kidding.
Well, really? And these poor guys down here, they're, Blue Mountain probably has to be the worst place to set up a manufacturing business.
I can't imagine anywhere worse.
No railroad, no highway, no nothing.
No people.
And they're we can't give him STDs away. And so they went. But anyway, they have a VD up in the State Historical Society at Topeka. They don't have one of these.
got one up on Topeka.
That's right. I could have had 50 old lawnmowers, but I have self-control. Now, you were over at Leonard's the other day.
You say as you're sitting next to 3 drill presses.
Isn't that just sad? I mean, he just, I know when to quit, right? Of course, I also,
See, your engine is out
I
front.
have 32 accordions in the basement, but
We don't talk about that.
yeah. I would take you in there and show you those, but, if this got on the internet and got out that I had 32 accordions in the basement, you know what would happen? I'd come home from work and the house was broken into and there would be 46 accordions.
Can we see your accordion at some point?
That joke is older than anything in this room. That's the oldest joke in the
That's right. I heard that joke originally about when I was a kid and the Royals were terrible.
Uh-huh.
That was the same joke. It's like, last night I left 2 Royals tickets in my car, and somebody smashed the window, and I got 4 tickets.
Yeah. That's good.
Me and my friends used to go to the games and holler at them, just try to have fun out there.
Yeah, it's a. I don't get a whole lot done in here. You know, I have a lot of, unlike Leonard, who has all those old gas engines, I have old machine tools. And people say, well, what do you do with, you know, I've got all these old lathes and drill presses and milling machines. What do you do with that? Well, so far, mainly what I do is make parts for old lathes and milling machines and drill presses. It's a symbiotic addiction. You guys want anything to drink? I got beer.
Yeah.
Hey, and they quit making what do you call it?
We're not going back to work. Oh, look at that.
Well, hot dog.
I don't know.
Except,
You careful.
I would take one.
All right.
Thank you.
Leonard, they're all drinking but you.
yeah.
Leonard only likes Applejack.
Oh, did he get some of that down yet?
He did.
Well, but my name is Sam Shublom, Shublom. And if you didn't know anything else about me, you knew I was in the hardware business, that sounds like a pretty Jewish name, right? And I was working at Tucker's one day, and I called up. It was before the internet, and if you wanted to find out who made something, you had to look it up in these old Thomas registers, like Encyclopedia Britannica, these big set of books they sell you one every year. So I was looking for something. It's a plumbing specialty, a boiler fitting for the Board of Public Utilities. And I found it up here in Chicago, a place called Chicago Specialty Company in Skokie, Illinois. And so I called up this place, and there were a lot, used to be, I don't know if it's still this way, there were a lot of small Jewish family businesses who were in the plumbing business here in town. They were all related, and they all related to the ones in the other towns, you know, and they all knew everybody, you know. And so I tell this lady answers the phone, and she says, Chicago Specialty Company, so maybe I could help you. And so right away I know what I'm dealing with. And I told her what I wanted. You would need to talk to Mr. Feldman. And so I'm waiting on hold. And then all of a sudden, this guy comes on the phone and he says, this is Max Feldman, what can I do for you? And I thought, I ain't ever going to talk to this guy the rest of my life, why not? So I go, hello Max, this is Sam Shublom with Tucker Hotbed in Kansas City. And he says, Kansas City, tell me, is Joe Firestone still in business on Central Avenue? Sold it to his son-in-law, moved to Florida. You wouldn't believe how good he looks with the pan. So we go back and forth like this. Well, he winds up knocking this stuff off to me in a pretty good clip. And all right, now I got to talk to this guy once a month for the rest of my life. Okay? and every time it's the same thing. He'd call up.
So you used an accent every time you talked to him?
And I, you know, hello Max, how are things in Chicago? Listen, we can all make money on this, help me! And so I'm in the middle of all of this. And Dan Tucker, who was Jewish, he walks by while I'm in this act. He just stops, listens to this whole thing. And I hang up the phone and he goes, what was that all about? I said, well, Dan, talked to the guy, Sam Shublom. I started, it sounded like it was how you go. I go, now I got to talk this way every time I talk to the guy. And he goes, is he giving you the brother-in-law price? And I said, I think so. He says, keep it up. that should wind up on the cutting room floor.
Oh, that's gold.
I don't know if it's still there. Up there above the gloves, there was this periscope arrangement.
Yeah, it's still there.
Oh yeah, it's there. It's there.
Okay, it was this piece of military equipment, and it went on an airplane like a bomber, like a B-52.
Yeah.
And you would stick this as a reverse periscope, and you look down and you could get a visual on the bottom of the plane to see if you got a wheel shot off or a hole in it or something like that. And okay, they went to an auction with a bunch of government surplus. Steve, your dad, is there to buy raincoats, and he gets beat out of these raincoats every time there's a lot of these raincoats come up. You know, he gets outbid by somebody, and he's just really steep because he needs these raincoats in his game. There's one lot of raincoats left, and so hell or high water, he's in there to get the raincoats. Well, now what they do in a lot of auctions, if there is a lot of something, is they're going down a row here, and there's something, and it didn't sell or it didn't attract any bids, they'll just lump that into the next lot, and you take both of them, and they get them out of there. Well, the thing, nobody was bidding on these periscopes. Nobody knew what they were, and so here's the raincoats here. Well, I'll remember the raincoats. So Steve gets in, he bids on the raincoats, and I gave too much money for the raincoats. I gave too much money, because I had to get those raincoats. So they get home with the raincoats. They get these things out. And they unpack one of them, and they put it on display. Somebody buys one of the military collectors or something. They knew what they told them what it was, And then, a year or so goes by, and they get this letter in the mail from the manufacturer of these periscopes. And it says, we understand it's such and such a government auction on such and such a day that you bought such and such a lot of these things. Do you have any left? Well, what's happened is that the government has ordered another batch of these things that they have sold with the raincoats for nothing, but they didn't know they even needed. And they've ordered another batch of it, and they found out where they went. Well, it was cheaper for them to get them, buy them from Epstein's, recondition them, check them out, make sure they're, and then sell them back to them. And so they buy the periscopes from Epstein's, and your dad, he never, and I didn't ask, and he never told me, what kind of figures were involved here in the deal, but he said very serious, but we did really well. And he just waits one comedic beat, and he said, we didn't get hurt on the raincoats either. And Epstein customers. This place, right where I'm from, Strawberry Hill, Kansas City, Kansas, one of the older parts of Kansas City, Kansas, has produced some of the most raving characters that you could ever imagine. And most of them shopped at Epstein's.
That's true.
Floyd Soptic,
Chris
Kazilla, Don Rowland.
Don
Rowland, we lost him earlier in the year. He passed away. He was an old concrete guy. You know how those guys are. and he was direct, you knew where he stood on things. Well, anyway, Don was working up here at City Hall, on the roof or the parking lot or something up here at City Hall there at 7th and Barnett. And there's a woman who gets mugged in Huron Park behind the library.
Okay.
And lo and behold, they catch this guy. And they say, well, we're going to have this lady pick them out from a lineup, just a whodunit. And it was some middle-aged white guy, and they only had one guy in the jail at the time that matched the description of what this guy was. The rest of them were too young, not right built. So, well, Roland, Don, he's working out in the parking lot. Let's go get him. And so they bring Don in, and this isn't like it's a movie or on TV where they got a one-way mirror and you sit behind that, and there are just three of them sitting at a table in the office in a room, and so they're sitting there. Don, the guy out of the jail, and the guy who did it, they're sitting there, and they all knew each other. Anyway, so they open up the door and they bring this old gal in there, and she looks right at Roland and goes, "There he is." And Roland says, "Yeah, well, you're a pathological liar." And I cleaned that up a lot. And jumps across the table, starts to strangle this woman. And,
oh my God.
Well,
That doesn't make him look innocent.
and the guy that did it, it scared him so bad he confessed right on the spot.
What?
So, Jess Boring, the old death sergeant, he comes in there with his gun drawn. He goes, what's going on? And he goes, it's because she fingered Roland. And he goes, oh, lady, he didn't do it, he did. Justice was served once again. Yeah, but
I see you've got your engine parked up.
my little steam engine is out front.
Yeah, you got a head of steam up out there?
We did an hour ago. I don't know if there's. Let me go out here and check and see if the fire is still.
Okay, we'll all go out?
Yeah.
I mean, you can open the flue and...
Maybe I can have a dramatic reveal, just like when Loretta opened the door years ago on that television show. I'm bleeding myself. So yeah.
I'll see the Jeep is.
Yep, there's that cool view.
I didn't know what you were feeling.
This is another Leonard Foster influence in my life. I think he came up with it. See, Leonard stuff, there's all sorts of loud popping noises and stuff like that. Irritating, This is nice and smooth, hardly hear it run.
And when you got it, was it working or did you have to get the exactly like I
So it's like a constant echoing.
So now that he's gone, I went ahead.
Are those balancers set in there, or is that like a brake? Oh, yeah.
It's a pretty simple setup with just got to work on something. Get that off.
Does that smell good? It smells like the 4th of July.
Yeah.
All right, man, let's go for a ride. You sit on the lumber.
All right.
Go down here to the bottom of the alley and turn around. That's a big deal.
Are we getting your mail?
Yeah.
How's it going?
Really cool.
How you doing, Rachel?
Making a little movie about Sam.
What do
Oh,
we
yeah.
got?
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
I did not have to get more.
We're not the one from the bank, huh?
Back up the hill?
And,
Junk mail power.
Yeah.
Is that the bounty or is that the actual level?